Afternoon, guys. Same process as last organisation. We'll set an embargo till 10:30 on Saturday night, halfway through. We can start with the TV, please. Sorry, Rob.
It's okay. Rob Palmer from Sky. The first question is, what is the news on Kevin De Bruyne that's been announced today, and how on earth do you replace him?
Well, good morning. Like the doctor said, he will be out 2 months and a half, 3 months. Hopefully in that time he can do as best as possible to, when he's going back, help us again. So it will be a big miss, like last season was with Benjamin Mendy. Last season, what happened last season, Kevin was outstanding, so in all terms. And of course, it's for him, his family, of course, the injury, these long injuries you never wanted, but accept it, part of the game, and especially part of the amount of games and seasons that at the end the players fell down. So that sometimes is normal. So they don't rest, they don't have. There was a tough season last season. They come back in the short recovery, and we demand him. In the first moment, come on, let's go, because we are in the competition. And of course, the human beings have a limit, and sometimes these kind of things happen.
Is it feeling like a case of deja vu? Same as last season?
No. In terms of what?
Just having an injury and having to make preparations for a player you may have been hoping to.
No. Last season, in terms of preparation, in terms of injuries, was incredible. The doctors and the physios was nominated the best group of staff in England. They make an incredible job. We had few injuries last season. One, a big one, but the other ones was quite well.
Hi, Pep. Jonathan Smith from ESPN. Just on Kevin's injury, do you think it has anything to do with him having such a short break after the World Cup? He's only been away for 3 weeks. Could that be a contributing factor?
We never know. I don't know exactly, but my opinion, when we demand a lot of the players, so more than 11 months, and after immediately come back, so sooner or later this kind of happen. I don't know the reason why, because you never know. Nobody knows, but I'm pretty sure this kind of influence, when you are fresh here and fresh in your legs for a normal vacations and our holidays, that doesn't happen right now in all the seasons. Sometimes these kind of things happen.
But just bearing that in mind, obviously quite a few players came back from the World Cup. Like, are you having to manage your squad in that way, nurse them for the opening weeks of the season?
Sorry?
Are you having to watch the rest of your squad to make sure nothing similar happens to them?
I don't know how you control that. How to train, recovery, or preparation, and play every game like it was an important game. We have to do it. That's why we spoke with the players. We try to take care of them as best as possible, but you never know.
Hi, Pep. Andy Hampson from the Press Association. Obviously, you've lost Kevin, but we've not seen David Silva featuring yet. Is he ready to come back in and play?
Yeah, he trained the last 2-3 training sessions really good. Last week was not fit, had a little problem in his leg, but now he trained good the last 2-3 days.
I bet today, obviously, the Amazon Prime documentary came out. I know you were at the premiere the other night. I wasn't, sadly. Two-part question, really. Are you a fan? Do you think it's good for the fans that they get that insight into how you manage and how your team operates? And secondly, what do you think is the biggest thing, or you want us to take away from watching that documentary?
No, I don't know. So I wanna tell you something about that. So, of course, the Premier was good for the club. At the end, it was initiative for the club. They decided to do that. The players accept to do that. We did our job in the terms we live, and we try to win games. What happened in the documentary is not in our responsibility, not even one. So it was a producer, Media Pro, and the people from Amazon decide what they want to decide to show to the rest of the world, of the Manchester City fans, of the people in more than 200 countries. So at the end, we are not involved in that, and I cannot come here to say you said that in last November or October, or what happened like this, because in the competition happen a lot of things. You know, what happened in that moment is completely different in the moment right now when I'm sitting here. And what happened in the competition, you are involved in the training sessions, you are in the limits, in the good things, in the bad things, and sometimes happen. But I think it's an honest product, because we were there. After 1 month, we didn't know that the cameras were there, and after that, they decide what they have done, and what's going to happen in the comments. Okay, it's of course it happened in other sports in United States of America. It's the first time it happened here. Maybe in the future will be more teams to do that. Of course, for all of us, will be a good memories, because it was a good season for us, and that's why in 10, 15, 20 years, when we remember what we have done, maybe you have a documentary like we live in that moment. But what we did last season, the same is what we did 2 seasons ago, we're going to do this season. So we play our life, our job, and the rest, I'm sorry, it's not our hands. What's going to happen, it depends on the people was decide to do what they have done.
Hi Pep, Sam Lee from Goal. Just on De Bruyne's injury, and you mentioned Mendy's last season. To fill in for Mendy, you made quite big tactical changes with Delph and Sane, that kind of thing. Do you think you'll have to make big changes for the next couple of months to replace De Bruyne, or do you just have players like Bernardo who can fill in and do the same kind of thing?
But we will see. Of course, it's not easy to replace Mendy. It's not easy to replace Kevin, but what I said in the first answer, so we're going to try to do our best when he's coming back in the beginning, on the half of December or at the end of November, to be, the team be there as best as possible. So we are not happy, like we were not happy last season or 2 seasons ago with Gundogan. We're saying what happened every season, we have a big injury, and we're going to handle of that, support him. Hopefully we can see him regularly. My advice to him now is rest, forget a little bit, take the holidays he didn't get in these 2-3 weeks, do it now, and when we start to training individually and after the group, we're going to waiting him with the big arms.
You've got good options in that position though, right?
We have a lot, yeah, we have players. Yeah. We have players.
Hello Pep, it's Sam Wallace from The Telegraph. There's been a lot of discussion about Tottenham's game against you at the end of October, so it doesn't look like their stadium is going to be ready. There's an NFL game at Wembley that day. It's a real problem that's not been faced in English football for a long time. Do you think that you should be flexible, or is it Tottenham's responsibility to get that game played in London?
We want to help the Premier League, and I think the club... I think we didn't release any statement about that, about Tottenham, so we don't know absolutely anything. So I don't know. So it can happen, because you build an amazing stadium. I think that's going to be Tottenham Hotspur. So sometimes delay. These kind of things happen. So, but I don't know. Really, I don't know. We're going to adapt if we can adapt, and of course we're going to think in ourselves as well, and of course the Premier League.
Would you accept playing that game at the Etihad instead?
I don't know. Only I can say when that's happened, the last 5 games in the Premier League, 4 is away. So
that's a problem.
I think so, yeah. When you maybe are playing for the Premier League, 4 games away will be different, but at the end. So I am a manager for what happened on the pitch, and it's enough. So at the end, Tottenham, if want to suggest something, is going to speak with our CEO and our people, and the best for the Premier League, for Tottenham, for us, we're going to decide.
Hello Pep, Stuart Brenner, Manchester Evening News. Just going back to All or Nothing, do you have a fear that a lot of your secrets are going to be given away in the documentary?
When we accept to be a cameras 24 hours inside, that kind of thing will happen. So, but I think nothing special. So I think the people is going to see how a football team lives behind the scenes. Be simple like that. About the secrets, every game is completely different than the other one, and the players make the tactics. No, my ideas. It's the players make the tactics, and you have Kevin De Bruyne. You can play in one way. If you don't have him, you have to adapt the quality of the players who's going to play in his place. Is going to change our tactics. See, tactics is football players, not ideas for the managers.
Jack Horn from the Mail. news this morning that Claudio Marchisio has been released by Juventus. Obviously, I don't know whether you still want another midfielder, but is he someone that you might be interested in?
First, a big compliment for his career. I don't know if he's going to play in a club, so he make an amazing career in Juventus and national team. But in December, we're going to see what happened in the transfer window. But now, the squad is the squad.
Hi, Martin Blackburn from The Sun. Just back to David Silva. He's announced his international retirement this week. Could that be good news for you? And what do you make of his international career?
Well, that is the news for him. So he decided to do that is because he believes there are moments. So just to say big congratulations, because more than 100 games, winning 2 European Cups, 1 World Cup, one of the most fascinating, incredible players, the whole history in Spain. So will he decide? Because of course, no Man City, no myself like a manager push him decide. I never did it in the past, so every player has to feel it. But he decided to do that. He could rest a little bit more with her wife, his wife, families, and of course his little boy, and play with us.
Last couple before the embargo, guys, just at the top.
Hi, Pep. Ian Baddow from ISN TV. Can I just get your thoughts on Huddersfield and the team and David Wagner and the job that he's done? And
do you have a game Sunday?
Yeah, I know. And how excited are you to be back playing at home?
Well, last season was tough, both games away. So physicality, we saw the game against Chelsea, and first half they were so good, they were well. So tough physicality, so defensive, strong, good set pieces, good throw-ins, good counter-attack, and they make good pressing high. They defend deep quite well. So it was complicated last season, and I imagine a quite similar game. So in this part of the season, like all the teams, especially the teams, like there were a lot of players in the international event, like a World Cup, you need time, 1 month, 1 month and a half. And in that period, these kind of games are so dangerous. For the players are maybe more focused when you play against Arsenal, because, you know, big stage, big game. And when you come with that games, like now, Wolves, Cardiff, Fulham, you know, I prefer take these teams in October, November, you know, in that period. In that period, always the big teams, the contenders, always, the history saying the last day, always draw points. And I remember last season we draw points Everton. Of course, it's a big club, but in Bournemouth we win in the 96 minutes. So always this kind of period, they are so complicated games. And I guess a complicated game on Sunday.
Pep, Fred Caldeira, Esporte Interativo Brasil. Just to check if there is any news on Danilo's recovery.
He's running. He's still running 2 or 3 days and getting better. I spoke with him yesterday and said he feels good. But the doctor, I didn't speak to the doctor exactly. I think 1 month more. I don't know exactly. But he's going well, yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll set the embargo for 10:30 on Saturday evening, please.